This is the walkthrough of our syllabus. This is Chemistry 121, summer 2024, online. Your labs are going to be at home. You know you need to pick up a kit on campus that first week of the term. There's some Zoom tutoring that I have available. You just let me know and then I'll be around. This is the only class I'm teaching this summer, so it'll be very easy for us to get along, meet up. The textbook is that OpenStax book. It's a PDF. If you'd like a hard copy of it, you can go to the bookstore and get it. You're going to need a scientific calculator, and a scientific calculator is a calculator that's got the ability to use scientific notation. If you don't know what that is, send me a description or a picture of your calculator, and I'll tell you if that works. There's my phone number and my email address. Most of the time, you can just get me either email or Moodle messaging, and I'm pretty quick to respond. This class is a general chemistry class. It's focused on matter and measurements, problem solving, atoms, elements, molecules, compounds, chemical equations, chemical quantities, aqueous reactions, gases, thermal chemistry, quantum mechanical model of the atom. This is the first course of chemistry for a non-chemistry majors, and it's usually somebody who's trying to get into the healthcare field or yeah, it's usually healthcare or just somebody looking for a class that needs that has a lab science. Alrighty, so the intended outcomes for this course. First thing, assess the impact of general chemistry theory on phenomena encountered in everyday life, including the environment and human health. If you don't think chemistry has changed the way you live, you haven't been a good student of history. Say 150 years ago, if you tripped and like impaled yourself with a stick, got poked by a stick, you had a 20% chance of dying. You had a 80% chance of getting sick. And chemistry has changed that. Obviously, we understand what antibiotics are, even though we're not using them wisely. But yeah, something as simple as stepping on a stick can kill you. As you know, stepping on a nail, probably good chance that you're going to need a tetanus shot, because tetanus is a bacteria that lives in dirt, and it's got nothing to do with rust. It's just that nails that are outside and you don't see are probably rusty, but the important thing is they have dirt on them. And if dirt gets pushed into you, then bacteria gets pushed into you, and tetanus could be one of those bacteria. The things that happen around us and in everyday life, this is why I love chemistry. I look around and think about all the chemistry associated with the things that you're surrounded by on a daily life, like the fact that there are LED lights instead of regular incandescent bulbs, the fact that there are lights at all as opposed to building fires. All things that chemistry have helped us with on a daily basis. The fact that we live into our 70s as an average, as opposed to into our 40s and 50s as an average, is a big reason of that is because of chemistry. All right, apply critical thinking skills and an understanding of scientific inquiry to make evidence-based decisions on issues that affect the environment, community, and encourage lifelong learning. So this is really important right now because there's a lot of bogus information that is readily available online. And I'm going to be teaching you ways to determine if what is being said is correct or not, and how to evaluate the correctness of statements that you're given. The next one is about math. All the math that you used before and you're like, when am I ever going to use that? The answer is you're going to use a bunch of it right now. So be happy that you took those math classes, because we got math here. There be math. Communicate complex scientific concepts, reasoning both orally and through formal and informal writings and reports. So I'm not sure if you know this, but calculus has been invented at least 5 times. Why did we as humans have to invent it 5 times? Because people kept not writing it down and disseminating it to a bunch of different people. So Newton gets credit for it, but really he's the 4th or 5th person to come up with it, depending on whose side of the argument you lie on. And if the first person who came up with calculus would have written it down and disseminated it across, then Newton could have done other cool things instead of having to come up with calculus one winter in his basement. Work collaboratively and effectively with a diverse team, complex, solve problems, and accomplish those tasks effectively. There's a little bit less of this unless you're planning on meeting up with somebody to do your chemistry labs, which is great. We will be interacting with each other on the forums, and that's about it for the online class. And again, so twice we're talking about critically evaluating sources of scientific information to determine their validity. So number 2 and number 6 are obviously very important for us to be able to look at something and determine if that thing is real or not. So we'll be talking about and studying how to make sure you know this. I'm expecting everybody to be on several times a week. We'll see when we get down to the calendar that you're going to need to be on because you have to download and upload stuff. Anything that's late, I'm just going to start taking points off, taking percentages off. So make sure that stuff gets on time, and it'll be really easy for you to know when things are online when I go over when you look over Moodle. There isn't any opportunity for extra credit, so don't worry about it. So we've got lots of different types of evaluations, homeworks, quizzes, labs, whatnot, and all the points for this stuff, they're all weighted exactly the same. So 1 point on a paper is going to be equal to 1 point on a quiz, which is equal to 1 point on a homework assignment. So every point is equal. And the grades are based off of the regular point total distribution. There's no curve. It's just anything a 90 or above is an A, in the B's or in the 80s is a B, and so on. Here's the college's addresses, both of them. Total 559 points you can earn. And again, all points are equal in their weight. Watch the Moodle calendar for due dates. So what you're going to be doing is anything that you're uploading into Moodle, which is everything, is going to need to be in a PDF. If you don't know how to do that, message me. I've also got a video on Moodle about how to do that. And the Moodle will literally not accept any other form of document other than a PDF. And all of you who have word processing software, if you go to the print function, you can always print as a PDF, and that works better than any PDF creator. If you just print as a PDF, that's the best thing to do. So if all you have is pages on your Mac, you can print as a PDF and upload that PDF, because I can't accept pages, mostly because I can't read the pages document. Okay, so we've got 22 homework assignments, 2 per week. So 10 points each, 220 points total. And again, submit as a PDF. We have 1 paper. It's worth 21 points, sort of. You get 1 point for telling me what topic you're going to do, which in this case is going to be about vitamins or minerals. And then you've got 20 points for the paper itself. And there's a very specific set of criteria on Moodle for what you need to do for the paper. And that's going to be due week 10. Your choice is due week 5. The participation stuff is going to be you posting questions from the textbook and then answering other people's questions that they have posted. And that'll be worth a total of 33 points. And you can see over here, these are the weeks of this class, and these are the chapters for which you need to be pulling the questions out of the back of the textbook. So week 1, chapter 1, week 6, chapter 4, week 10, chapter 9. So just follow this little chart. There's 11 quizzes, 1 per week. They're 10 points apiece, so 110 points possible. The quizzes themselves, they're going to be yanked out of a bank of questions, so everybody's not going to get the same questions. And some of the quizzes are just going to be a few minutes, and some of the quizzes are going to be much longer because they'll have calculations involved. And so the length of the quiz is relevant to the difficulty of the questions. And so if you feel time crunched, you didn't prepare yourself properly for that quiz. So make sure you get all the homeworks done before quizzes, which are due on Friday. We're going to have 10 total labs, 20 points apiece. And so you'll be performing those at home. You'll be picking up the kits the week before, not just picking them up, but going through them and making sure everything is in there. And then you'll be doing those at home again, submitting those as a PDF. You're going to get 5 points for picking up the kits, 5 points for dropping off the kits. If the kits do not get returned to the college, your account is going to be charged $300 because that's what it's going to cost almost for me to replace it. And then you're going to get a point for introducing yourself on Moodle. Lab rules, make sure you're in a place where nobody's going to bother you and there aren't any obstacles. You're not going to trip over stuff. And sometimes you're using a hot plate, which is basically like a little burner, and make sure nothing is going to, catch on fire or melt. You're going to need to wear eye protection. If you're wearing glasses, you can't wear the glasses. Sorry, if you're wearing contacts, you can't wear the contacts. You have to put your glasses on. Um, no contacts allowed with chemistry labs. No goofing around with the stuff that you're doing for lab. Just, be serious about it. And make sure that when you're doing this is the most important rule. Always ensure what you want is what you have. So don't be looking at your stuff, putting things together and being like, was that the right powder, white powder? Because in a lab, more than one lab, you'll have more than one white powder, and you need to make sure that that white powder that you're using right then and there is the correct white powder, because mixing two wrong things together does not make a right. It could be problematic for you. Okay, so here's the calendar, the whole calendar for the entire term. We've only got one holiday, and that's going to be Monday of Labor Day. Not that it really matters for this online class. So what I've got for us is every Tuesday, you will submit 2 questions from the end of the particular chapters out of the book. So it's listed right here which chapters you should be using. And every Thursday, you need to answer one of your classmates' questions. Every Wednesday, the odd numbered homeworks are due, 1, 3, 5, 7, every single week. We've got one due on Wednesday, and then on Friday, you've got the even numbered ones due. Every Wednesday, a homework, every Friday, a homework. So then you've got the entire weekend, all Friday and Saturday, and even Monday during the day if you want to do your labs. That's how I've set this up. So you work during the week, and then you've got the weekends free to manage the labs. I mean, if you can do them whenever you want, but I'm trying to make it more helpful, trying to force a space on you so you can make sure that these labs get done. Make sure you're prepped with the labs. I don't want people, I mean, you're going to be going through your kits. Make sure you have everything in your kits. I don't want people messaging me at 4 o'clock on a Monday saying I don't have the whatever I need for this lab, because you should have checked to make sure that you had that, since you're making the kits. And you really should check the week before. Like when lab one's submitted, you should look at lab two and make sure everything is in your kit that you need. Yeah, okay. There will be an opportunity to pick stuff up, but don't count on it getting picked up when you want it to get picked up, because there aren't very many people on campus this quarter. You've got your paper choice due on the 24th of July, and you've got your paper due on September 2nd. And I think that's it for the calendar. All right, so this is at the end of every syllabus. Don't cheat. If there's any sort of accommodation you need, let me know. There's no discrimination allowed. The flexibility stuff, I don't know if it would apply to us because we're online, but maybe if there was like a power outage and nobody had internet, that kind of stuff, then maybe I'd have to change some due dates. Let me know if there's an issue about accommodations. Just everybody be nice to everybody else. That's really the best thing to be doing here. And if you have any issues, you can contact student support and at student services, and they'll assist you if I can't do that. Okay. And that's it for the syllabus review. Thanks for watching.